What y'all doing? Hello, good people. Welcome back on up in here. It is a Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Y'all come on in. Please hit that good like, share, and subscribe button for your girl. Like, share. Help keep me up, out here in the algorithm and all of that stuff, y'all. I greatly appreciate you so much. If you're catching this on the replay, well, welcome. Thank you so much for that. Greatly appreciate you so much for your love and support of the channel. Greatly appreciate you. But please make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button for me as well. I'm trying to give it a little 10-minute mark, I guess. And then we're going to get up on here and chitter chat just a little bit. And we're going to get on up off of here and go do what we need to do. It is what it is. Be right back, people. Hello, good people. Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank y'all so much. I had to come and send for you, didn't I, Miss Carla? You know I'm gonna be coming for you, Miss Carla. Hey, Miss Faye, she says, good evening, everyone. Hey, CDW, she says, hello, everyone. Miss Carla says, hey, G Squad and Faith. I am working back in the office. Miss Carla, what has happened and how did that happen and when did that take place? Oh, my goodness. Ooh, child, you know, in this situation, we're just gonna look and thank God for the job. That's what we're gonna do. Miss Maria might be out taking an afternoon walk, y'all. Miss Sexy Diva, we are 3 hour time different. Miss Denise prayer still going up for her. Speedy recovery and all of the above. Love, 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 love. But yes, most of the time, when the sun starts to set, and it start cooling down just a little bit, you be like, well, especially if you have had your dinner, you say, well, let me just take a walk. And, this might be what Miss Maria is doing, getting her exercise in, um, staying healthy. The older we get, child, we got to do what we can do, child. We have to do it. But yes, all of that, all of that. For the people, please come in and hit the like, share, and the good subscribe button for your girl. Make sure your notification bell is turned on as well. Greatly appreciate you popping in, popping in. Yeah, that part right there. But Miss Carla, I guess I say too. Well, anyway, this ain't gonna be long, child. We ain't gonna be that long. Ain't gonna be that long, child. But Miss Carla says, I started back Monday. I am glad I still have a job. 9 people was let go. Ooh, see what I'm talking about? See, God's favor. Favor, child. Favor. Yes, favor. Mm-hmm. Mm. Sometimes we know favor ain't fair. We just know the favor ain't fair. But thank God for favor. Absolutely, we do. Um, Miss Carla, so glad you still got a job. 'Cause lots of people don't have jobs and stuff. So it seems like things is getting worse by the minute. Just, sometimes we don't know which way we're going. But thank God. Yes. For the people that's up over here, I have a very, 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 very important phone call tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So tomorrow at 1 o'clock, if the people could just send up an amazing prayer for your girl in hopes and prayer that everything goes well. If it's God's will, it all goes well and all of that. So yes, prayers up for you, girl. Just send a little, just whisper a prayer for me. I greatly appreciate y'all so much. Anyway, anywho, anyhow. So yes, the YouTube streets has been a little bit not so much, it's the Tamar and the Funky Dineva beef going on. I think Tamar did pop back out to let him know, saying that she loved him, but that's not what he asked her for. He asked her to tell the people because, Funky to the Dineva is being drugged because, people thinking that he played a part or had something to do with what was going on with Tamar. And I can see how that can easily happen. You don't you don't wish that on nobody. I know, Funky don't even got that funky mouth, child. He go gutter. He don't be caring, and the people be saying he don't like women and all of this and all of that. But in a situation like this, a lot of people get the chattering and all of that kind of stuff, child. This dude could have really been landed in jail or something like that. But anywho, I'm not really sure why Tamar won't just come out and just say to the people, you know, I didn't lose my tooth. Funky Dineva did nothing to me. It's just so simple to say that stuff and just let it go. Whether or not if they remain friends or be friends ever again, that's still up in the air. But just come out and clear him, because that make me wonder. What if he would have been ended up behind bars, Tamar? Would you have come out and spoken up to say, "Hey, hey, wait, what y'all doing?" But the way you dragging this and kind of like look like you stalling this situation or whatever, I'm not sure. It looked like to me you probably been like, oh well. I'm just saying. But anyway, Hope they get that settled, get that little situation worked out. Would I want to be friends with her again? Not really sure I would, because it just kind of seemed like he's having to beg her to come out and clear his name. He didn't do nothing to you. Just clear his name. That's all he wants you to do. Clear his name. Hey, Miss Sonia girl. She says, hello, everyone. Hello, beautiful. How are you doing this good old Wednesday afternoon? But yeah, child, it's just best to be a ride along, child. Be to yourself. Stay out of trouble, honey. Stay out of trouble. It'll take you a hot second to get in trouble and the rest of your life to get out of it. So, I hope they get that situation worked out. Child, is it really worth it for $1? I'm just saying. But I see where Funky Dineva is coming from. I really do. Because yeah, y'all, this can really get ugly. But anyway, maybe they'll get it fixed, worked out, or whatever. I think he did give her a little time to come on out and speak on it. Tell the people what really happened, honey, or what's really going on, child. That's it. That's all. Anyway, and anyhow. But yes, y'all. What y'all think about Miss Karen Huggard? Is they say she's set to come up out of there on the 2nd, which is right around the corner, which would be next Tuesday. Miss Faith says, I understand, but she never said he did anything to her. Absolutely, Miss Faith. He said that she never called his name, and the YouTube street, Facebook, Instagram, and all of that. People tends to add, subtract, multiply, and divide the stuff. He did. Maybe he was excited to say that, he spent his birthday out with her and some more friends or whatever, child. We don't know. But he just said that, and then the people just took it as, this happened to her. You were the last person that was with her, and all. They just tying him into it, like that. And it's just, it's a mess. But it really wouldn't take a lot for her to just say, no, what are y'all doing? He ain't had nothing to do with me. Stop saying that. That's it. That's all. Miss Sonya says, I need to be out of Tamar's group chat. I'm tired of her. Miss Sonya says, it was because everyone saw the video of them together. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Kind of like mistaken identity or something like that. People ends up behind bars and all kinds of stuff, wrong person, and you end up pulling time for something you didn't do. It could easily happen that way, just by the chatter on the streets, child. Just a little taste of chatter. I'm just saying. But anyway, yes, they saying that Miss Karen is scheduled to come out next Tuesday, y'all, on the good the behavior. And it's just so amazing how some people can get these charges and get out and still got their jobs. The jobs is just waiting for them, child. And it don't come along for everybody like that. Everybody's not blessed and fortunate for stuff like that to happen to them. So, child. Miss Karen says she's ready to come out. I'm kind of like on the fence with that. Hey, my thoughts, girl. Hey, girl. Hey. She says, hey, G Chat and Mars. I'm on the fence with that because, how's a person going to learn if you letting them out on good behavior? They can get that mindset and be like, well, I did blase, blase, blase. And, I didn't have to pull all that time that, they told me they was going to give me and they let me out early, and you go back out there and repeat same thing that you did, that landed you there in the first place. So I feel as though she should sit there because and do you did the crime, do the time, baby. That's all I'm saying, child. I don't feel sorry for the lady because there could have been so many lives taken on that night that she was behind said wheel, and it could have been the other way around. So many people lose family members due to people out there drinking and driving and thinking that I got the wheel, I can handle it. The people be thinking, oh, I got it. I can handle it. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Don't worry about me, child. And things seems like it happens a lot when you get close to home. Just say, I'm almost there. And everything, your whole world can end just like that. I mean, Miss Karen said, Miss Sonia says Karen might want a year away from the show because she's all they will talk about. I think she's as soon as she get out, child, they ready for her, honey. She gonna be right back over there. Oh, over there. Yes. The people saying it wouldn't be the same show without the grand nine. So, she's gonna be back up there. My thought is, did she hit a tree, a pole, and an animal too? I ain't messing with you down there today. You're not about to get me caught up out there on that limb. Miss Ain says, "Have my thoughts. I don't know what she hit. Well, we know she hit a tree, honey. She tore that tree all to pieces. Child, she ate that one up. Yes, she was not playing with the tree, honey. But she could have lost her life that night. And they saying something about somebody was supposed to have been paid to don't say nothing. And the person said he ain't got the money. I ain't got my money. Money, 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 money. And the person about to come out here and pop lock and drop it like it's hot, child, about to tell all the business, child. I said, well, okay then. I'm here for it. What you got? We the people listening. Show is show to the is, honey. But yes, child. So yeah, they said they're gonna let her on out, child. And I hope she's went in there and took her some classes and went through some rehabs and all of that and think the bigger picture of what it really could have been. Sometimes people learn, sometimes people don't learn, child. It is what it is. My thoughts is that Sonya, hey, beautiful. But yeah, sometimes people learn and sometimes they get out and go back to doing what they was doing. But it's really, really sad. But anyway, but thank God nobody lost their lives on that night right there when that situation occurred with Miss Karen, child. So moving on forward, child. I was over here on the YouTube the streets and I seen Miss Candy Berries. And everybody loves some Leandria Johnson, honey. Leandria Johnson. Yes, y'all. I thought said she's a beautiful drunk. Yes, everybody loves themselves some Leandria Johnson, child. Leandria, it's I think it's over there mostly. You see a little bit of it, not a whole lot, but Candy let her know if there's something that a question or something that I ask you, you don't feel comfortable with it, just let me know. We'll edit it out, and you don't have to answer it or whatever, whatever. But my prayers for Leandra child is that she can come up out of this darkness that she's in. She's been going through a whole lot of stuff. It's just a lot. But she is from Orlando, Florida. She said a lot of people thought she was with the Katrina thing. I forgot what it was called, that city. But a lot of people was thinking that that's where she was from. And she said no, that wasn't what it was. She ended up in Orlando, Florida because of paying rent to a landlord that wasn't handling his part of the bargain. And she ended up with nothing. She said basically just the clothes on her back. But anyway, she lost her brother in 2016, somebody that was very, very close to her. And she ain't been able to get it together since. She said um her brother was a major part in the Sunday best when she got there and all of the above. But yeah, she said on the day that she lost her brother, I didn't hear her say what the cause was of her losing her brother, but on the day that he passed, 2016, she started drinking and she got wasted, like shots after shots after shots after shots, and she was just taking it to the head. And she said when she woke up, she was handcuffed to the bed. And Candy asked her, well, what landed you there? She could have been irate or something. The people called her. I mean, they needed to get her to the hospital. And, who knows? But yeah, I've seen that happen where a lot of people, drink a lot and they end up handcuffed to the beds in the hospital, to keep them from doing more bodily harm to themselves or anybody else. My thoughts is Leandra seems to be trying to drink something away. I pray for her. Yeah, the loss of her brother. She's struggling with that. She said she feel like y'all know when sometimes when we lose a loved one, it can be really, really hard on us, especially not expecting it. You have so much faith, confidence in that person. That person will always be there for you. That person motivates you, encourages you to be your be all you can be and all of that. And she feels as though it was taken away from her. And we often ask God, why? Why? That's our favorite question. Why? I don't understand. What did he do? What was wrong? All of those questions, child. We don't have an answer for it, but that's what she's struggling with. Hey, Miss Sassy Diva, beautiful. Yes, Miss Leandra, she's struggling with that. The loss of her brother in 2016. Miss Carla says, well, maybe Karen learned her lesson. I hope Karen has learned her lesson, child. We're gonna see. Time will tell. Miss Maria, hey Miss Maria and Miss Sassy Diva, y'all rode in here at the same time. Y'all in the Mustang, y'all in that Mustang together. But yeah, 2016, and she's been struggling with it ever since. Miss Maria says at CDW, she says hello. Um, I just pray for her because she have her kids that she has to take care of and look out and all of the above. And but with this alcohol thing, I remember when she was on the Ayana Fix My Life, Ayana tried to intervene and help her, and she was going, and then she had this hairstylist that was feeding her body what she didn't need, and that wasn't helping her at all. Miss Sensitivity says, hello at Maria, my sister mom. Miss Maria says that Carla, hey neighbor. Y'all, Miss Carla just told us she is back in the office again, child, and she is Miss Maria says a sexy diva. Hey little sis. Yes. That's the baby of the bunch, y'all. That's our baby up in this joint. But yes, so she she needs to get it together. She has an amazing voice, but then she also gets upset and frustrated behind, we the people see these artists out there, the gospel singers and all of that, and we be thinking these people are making mega money, child. To hear her story, they don't be making money like that. Miss Maria says that my thought. She says, "Hey, beautiful, they do not make money like that at all, and that's frustrating. You're trying to make it, trying to survive, trying to get up, and you just like it seemed like one thing after another. You just keep getting knocked down, and yeah, we don't understand sometimes, and that'll take a toll on you too." Miss Carla says, "Hey, Maria, Miss Sexy Diva and Miss Maria, I was telling the people, and for the people in the bushes." I have a very important phone call tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So y'all send up a whisper a prayer for your girl that all is well. I know it's all is well as I'm speaking of it, but good people. You always want some good people in your corner, sending up the prayers and all of that. So thank y'all in advance for the prayers, child. Already done. I greatly appreciate y'all so much. But yeah, and she when she get irate and all of that kind of stuff, and she get to riding down the road and speeding out there and all of that crazy stuff, child. Nobody's life is safe when she's out there drinking like that, because I don't really know why people get to drinking and get behind the wheels, the most dangerous thing ever and all of that stuff. Miss Faith says, we got you, G. Thank you, Miss Faith. Love y'all so much. My thoughts. Thank you. Miss Sexy even says, whoop whoop, prayers going up. Greatly appreciate y'all so much. But yeah, but it's the most dangerous thing. And she's not thinking straight, because she's not looking at it as, what if I lose my life out here? Who's gonna be with be for my kids? And y'all might say this town sounds crazy, but I used to say all the time, don't y'all judge me too hard, but this is what I used to say before my kids actually got grown. I would say all the time, I'd rather for my kids to go than myself, because I know how to take care of my kids. People say, oh, if something happens to you, I got your kids. I'm gonna make sure your kids are straight and all this. No, 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 no. Mm-mm. Especially, I knew my kids would be with God and all of that. Like I said, they wasn't equipped and didn't know how to handle themselves in this world before they got grown. I used to say that all the time, because I'm just like, ooh, people don't, people ain't who the people say they is, child. They just ain't who they say they is. Um, it's my thoughts is, write your parables upon the table so the devil can't rebuke it. A message of faith. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate that. My thoughts is sexy diva. Hey lady. Miss Maria says that Candy. What up, Doc? Miss Cheryl says yes, amen. My thought says that Candy, good evening. Hey, Miss Candy, I see you sliding up in here, girl. Where you was sliding? Oh, I just read your miss girl. I didn't even see your name, Miss Candy. But thank you, Miss Candy. Greatly appreciated it. Y'all popping on up in here. But yes, y'all, please make sure y'all say some prayers for Miss Karen, and prayers for Leandria. I hope she can get it right. And sometimes y'all looking at these artists and stuff, and you be looking like we looking at the out we looking from the outside, and they got this and they got that. How did they do this and how did they do that? But we don't know all of their struggles behind them getting to where they are today. And I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it a book. 9 times out of 10, a lot of these people be living above their means, child. They ain't getting no sleep out there. They trying to be in competition with everybody that's supposed to be doing the same thing they got, and they saying, "Well, why I ain't got that? Why I ain't leveled up? Not yet." Everything takes time. It's a process. We got to remember, we got to crawl before we walk. It doesn't matter what we start to do. And I've always told my kids, anything worth having does not come easy. Process. Anything worth having does not come easy. If it comes too easy, something is behind. Mm-mm. So sometimes when we start to do stuff, we're like, well, doggone, why this happening? What's going on with that? What? Oh, Lord, can I just, child, just go with the flow. My thought says they are real people just like us. Absolutely. Miss Candace says grief longer than 1 year is complicated grief. She should consider therapy if she is not already getting it. I hope so. It wasn't that long ago. It's like sometimes she just snaps or something clicks and is clicking in her, and she get out here on the YouTube street, she cuss out everybody, child. She be drinking and driving and just cussing the folks out, the people's up in the pulpit and everywhere else, child. She puts it out there. She ain't holding nothing back, child. Not Miss Leandra, child. She puts it out there for the people to know. Because, and that's kind of good, but in the wrong way. If she was sober and talking, speaking her truth, that's a different story. But I guess it might be a little hard and difficult for people to actually listen to her or comprehend, because they saying that she's drunk, angry drunk, or whatever you want to call it. Miss Candace says that's a problem, G. Something is triggering it. Yes, absolutely. Miss Maria says, hey squad, whistle, we're praying. Please lift my ex and his surviving children in prayer. Their lost sister's birthday is tomorrow. They are going through. Prayers up for Miss Maria's family. Y'all put some prayer hands in the chat. Y'all, we all need some prayers, child. There's so much stuff going on. Everybody needs a little whisper of a prayer. That's it. That's all. Um, but yeah, Miss Candy, something is triggering her. I'm not really sure what it is. She did say it was 2016. And I have a friend, I have to call and check on her sometimes too, because she lost her mom, and it's been a lot of years since her mom has passed. And they was at the same house. Her mom stayed with her and all of that. And she still struggles with it, y'all. It's been over 10, 20 years, but there's no time set on nothing like that. It can hit you any moment. I still miss my aunt so bad. Some days is better than other days, and just know that it's okay to cry, and it's okay. And I have to call her and check on her to make sure she's all right. Sometimes she don't even answer the phone, and that'll really get you scared and worried to death. Like, what's going on? What happened? Why she ain't answering the phone? And I be trying to tell her not to do that, and she be like, "Well, Strickland, I just had a moment. It's okay to have a moment too, but send me a text and say something to me, girl." We be having all them crazy thoughts be going through our heads and stuff. What happened? She okay? Did this happen? What, it's my thought says I am not a drinker, but I was wondering what is the difference between liquor and spirits. These people may be drinking spirits into their body. I don't know. Child, that's a good one. That's something to think about right there. That's a really good question. Hmm. Yeah, I guess we have to try to pray and watch the people that we be around and be in our circle too. And also, it's good that, people pray for people, but sometimes people pray for your downfall as well. So, we have to be careful with that as well. Miss Candy says there is essentially no difference between liquor and spirit. Hmm. Well, I'm gonna be like Candy Barris for a minute. Speak on it. Speak on it, Miss Candy Child. That's a good one, child. See, I love questions and topics and stuff like this that makes people think and stuff. Make you go, okay, yeah, that is. I don't know. Um, Leandra kids should be getting older now, but they still needs their mom, y'all. They need her there, and she's like she can't handle it or something. What's going on? Miss Candy says terms are used interchangeably to refer to distilled alcoholic beverages like vodka, whiskey, and rum. Child, I can't do none of that stuff. It about to knock me off my feet, child. I'll be asleep for a couple of days. Girl, I been be asleep for a couple of days. That's how come I don't know how they can get out there on the streets and be out there rah-rah like that. My thought said, thanks, ladies. Be out there rah-rah on them streets like that, child. I be sleeping, child. I don't think I could get behind no wheel. Not unless I'm going right there. Well, you can go to the corner and still don't make it back to the house. So, no. But yeah, there is something that's causing her to trigger. She said she lost her brother. Did she say she lost her dad? I want to say her dad too. Um, yeah, but she's got a lot. But yeah, that was her motivation. Whenever she was um got on Sunday Best. And she's had Mary and all of them try to intervene and talk to her. And just like when she was on Ayana, or one of them, I can't never hardly keep them apart, was Erica, or one of them was up there with her trying to, be there for her moral support and all of that kind of stuff, child. But I don't even think she stayed for the process. Ayana tried. She tried it, though. Maria says maybe like wine or beer is considered liquor, whereas whiskey, moonshine, or spirits. Ooh, not the spirits. Mm. Wow. Miss Maria, Miss Karen is set to get out on Tuesday. I myself don't feel that is fair. I feel as though she should remain behind bars and do all the time that she was given to make sure she has learned a lesson, because the show is awaiting for her when she gets out. And also, there's a little taste of whispers out on the streets that somebody was supposed to get paid and they ain't received their money and they about to speak on it. I said, well, okay then. Child, I just tell y'all. My thought says, I remember a man that would get drunk and be talking to someone that was not there. Ain't that something? Imaginary friend. Hmm. That don't sound good to me, huh? Well, my thoughts. They said a drunk man tells a sober man's speaks a sober man's mind. Now that's what the people tell me all the time. A drunk man speaks a sober man's mind, meaning that he gotta get drunk to get out whatever's bothering him. So, is that a good thing? It could be. They was able to release some of whatever that they may have been going through. I mean, I'm just saying. We don't know. I don't know. I've never been one of them. Like I said, I can't drink like that. I try to get me a little taste of wine every 6 months or something like that right there, a little red wine. But I don't. It's gonna make me go to sleep, child. So I don't even mess with it. I said I'm just not cut out for it. Can't do it. I'm gonna have to let somebody else have that job. But I just feel kind of sad for her that she's going through it. I hope, and two, maybe she can keep her singing on the side and just go out there. Sometimes when we get out and we start mingling with people and, just talking to people and stuff, that can make a change, a difference, but just waking up every day to repeat the same thing as saying not to have a job, ain't got nowhere to go. You just gonna be sitting in that house all day long. Yes, you're gonna start drinking. Shoot, let me drink this. Let me get a hold of this right here. And it's just ugh. I suggest you go to therapy and get out there and start mingling with some people. Everybody, all of us has a story, child. My story different from y'all's story. You never know. And somebody can hear your story and you can help that person. So hopefully she can get out from up under this here tight net, whatever she got going on that's bothering her. I pray that she can. Especially for herself and for the sake of her children. Miss Maria says, I know folk that talk to people who ain't there and they are stone sober. No, you didn't. I bet you she said stone sober. Yeah, they eat some people that's a little, they do that, what she say? Stone sober, like I said. Um Miss my thoughts to my Maria or stone cray cray. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, mental illness is a real thing. It most absolutely is. And you know what, y'all? It's just the grace of God because it could have been us. It could have been us. I remember way back in the day, people have to be careful with these, with the rugs and stuff that they take today because this stuff being laced and everything else. People don't care what they put on it or put in it because they need that money. They trying to get that money, and so they gonna do whatever to make this run, whatever, child. And it drove my poor cousin just as cray as he could be. And do y'all know it's been over 30 plus years? And you can still tell that something is a little off with his mind behind that, hanging with the clear people at the job. And they hooked up a brother. And he just ain't really been himself since. He was saying the people that was trying to help him, he thought they was trying to hurt him. And he didn't want to go to the hospital and get no help and all that stuff. So people just really have to be careful. And way back then, you could get something from your neighbor and all of that stuff, child. You won't worry about getting hurt and nothing happening to them and all that kind of stuff. But today, people need to be very, very careful, child. Miss Maria says, I don't drink white liquor straight. Makes me want to fight. Ooh. Miss Maria, I cannot with you. Miss my thought says at Maria, not fight, girl. She walked there wanting to swing on a person, child. See, Miss Maria, don't. See, we can't let her out, y'all. We got to keep her in. We not about to let you out there on the streets now. And I know good well she can't go to Bessemer, child. Mm-mm. No, ma'am. Well, what y'all think about Tamar ain't came out here yet and try to clear up this here stuff? I know Miss Maria gonna say she don't feel no ways tired about it, but Miss Maria, what if he would have ended up in jail? You still wouldn't feel no ways tired. I got that part. I got you. I know. I already know your answer. But I think her little taste of time is running out, child. Is running out. He done told her now to come on out here and clear his name. But y'all, the people of them on the streets is really they really dragging him for field, child. They dragging him. Miss Maria says that my thoughts, sadly, yes, fight. Miss Maria, it's time to calm down a little bit. Just calm it down. Can't be out there fighting on the streets like that. But y'all, it's just so much stuff is changing in the world today, child. It is. It's just a lot. The people's going through. The people is going through. So prize up for Miss Karen, child. If them folk let you out, honey, cause she was on good behavior, y'all. They said she had some good behavior. Good, I bet you she was probably in there trying to promise people this and promise people that. She get her, you know what, back out here on the streets, child. She can be like, honey, that was then. I'm out of there. I ain't about to go back up over there in that there. Honey. So hope, hopefully, she has learned the lesson, child. I don't know. But yeah, they said they're gonna let out for good behavior. Miss Faith says, he dog Mel out, now he getting it back. Ooh, Well, Miss Faith, since you want to put it that way, we don't feel no ways tired for him. Child, if he ended up over there in the jail, then so be it, child. So to the bit, so to the bit. Yes, that part right there. My thought says Funky has done enough to receive his reward. Let the church say amen. Well, since y'all put it in that term, I guess y'all feels no ways tired about it, child. It is what it is. Deal with it, brother. Deal with it. That's all we got to teach you. I mean, ain't nothing else left to say. Child. Miss Maria says, "You right. I don't feel no ways tired about Funky Don neither. He mistreated Mel, Kiki. Yes, 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 yes. All of that. But you know what? When people do stuff like that to people, they don't understand. They don't see as though they did anything wrong. Kenny said, who dogged Mel out? Funky Don neither. When he was getting up there on his live, calling her bees and all that kind of crazy stuff that didn't have nothing to do with him, nothing at all. Yes, Miss Maria says that Candy. My thought says if he ended up in jail, he may have been there before nothing new. Child, it's a possibility, honey. It is just a possibility. But yeah, when people do people wrong and stuff like that, child, they don't think about karma coming at them. In this day and time, we have to be careful because karma just don't get you. It get your babies, your grandchildren, and people that you're close to and your family and all that kind of stuff, child. It just don't roll up at you. So people need to be mindful about stuff like that. But I tend to forget about that. Yes, he had his 2 cents in it and a penny and a half in it, and he sure did drag me, and she ain't did nothing. And our brother Marcus had to come out and tell him about the sugar booger. Uh, don't make me get to talking what he said to him. Shut him down. Quiet on the set, child, after that. Miss Marissa's not to mention Michelle ATL. And yes, drug her for fear, child. I ain't never understand how he was all up on the girl clothes, up in the drawers and the JJ and everything, child. I said, well, die. Miss Candy says, so who's lying? FD or Tamar, child? Seemed like to me a little taste of the both, child. It was something about her trying to drop her stuff. What was it? A movie, film, song, some she done paid for, and he was in the video or some mess like that. Child, a whole hot mess behind birthday dinners and all of that, and all of this done came out behind that. My thoughts is a Candy. Both is still cloudy. Can't trust either of them. Not the either of them. Child, I tell you what's the truth. And all of this right here could be for clicks and views, clout chasing and all of that. But he sure let her know, I'm gonna make my money too. You making your money, I'm gonna make my money too. So how we know, y'all, they could be working together, child. Just get a little chattering on the streets, for all we know. Um, but they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out one way or the other. Miss Marissa says they don't think karma coming for them, but quick to wish it on others. Child, the way he came out and said all that stuff about, well, Mel and Kiki both, child, that was a hot mess, child. He won't hold nothing back. Nothing. And then he said earlier today, he was still trying to protect Tamar even in the midst of the mess, child. Well, you just keep on protecting the baby because, you know, we don't really know y'all's story and what y'all got going on. Ain't none of our business, y'all. But y'all put stuff out here on the YouTube street, so that gives us a little taste to say, okay, let's talk about it then. Well, let's just talk about it. Everybody got their own opinion, and they're gonna feel the way they feel, and they're gonna be people that's team funky, and they're gonna be people that's team Tamar. But people saying Tamar is a whole narcissist, y'all. She might be one, child. Who knows? Girl, gather yourself, kind of. Mm. Just too much, too bad. Well, now before we get up off of here, y'all, what y'all think about D Nasty trying to work so hard to get Mr. LB locked up, child? I'm so glad that that young man got some common sense. I know he do hate the day that he ever rant into her, but child, she gonna need to go take several seats as well because she gonna f around and find out. She gonna have a court date, and that's gonna be to walk in and don't walk out. Let her keep on playing with people down in the courthouse now. My thought says I know Funky by the company he keeps, and it's not good. Ooh, Miss Maria says that's what really gagged me. Michelle went out her way to help him, and he trashed her home, stole her appliances, and dipped without paying what he owed. And he's always up under that girl's dress. That doesn't make you look good because you're saying she smell like this. And if you, well, first of all, I'm not finna be around nobody that's smelling. If you my friend, I'm gonna be like, hey, you okay? Something ain't right. tell them in the privacy of just you two. But then every time you turn around, you were out with her, and then you talking about how she smell. Now I'm starting to think she ain't the cray cray one. You the cray cray one, because I'm not about to be hanging with nobody that's got a little stank going on. No, I'm not doing it. Miss Candy says LB needs to sue for full custody. Baby needs stability. Going back and forth, not working. For none of the kids, Miss Candy. For none of the kids. I totally agree with you. My thought says he took the sweet out of the sugar. Ooh. Miss Candy says, as a provider, I'd love to see how his behavior shakes out after just knowing stable. I guess maybe being stable. This mess is in the way. I would too, Miss Candy. But I hate that for that little boy. He didn't ask for it, nor do he deserve it. Destiny is so caught up on self, just like her twin, diagonal identical twin, that they don't even see that they tearing the kids all to pieces, just tearing the nerves up, child. I don't like that. Miss Candace, I read that one. Being stable, yeah. But he doesn't seem to be like that. He's like happy, like male kids. When they were male, they free. When that little boy was with Law or with LB, he's free. With D Nasty, he's like in a shell, walking on eggshells, afraid. You know, that's is the little boy's only 5. Well, shoot, sugar mama just 5 too. And they all that stuff these babies got to endure. Y'all, that mess ain't right. My thought says that baby is so good with his dad. Yeah. But all this stuff, it is not right. Them kids is not equipped. They can't take it. And maybe he need to put the little boy in a little taste of therapy, like Mel got her kids in therapy, child. Mel them child, they staying in therapy. They gonna have to child, cause Martell Hope. Lord have mercy. Can y'all? I know nobody wants to imagine dealing with somebody that never takes accountability for nothing he does. Always want to blame somebody else for his ish. My God, one of those people that nothing works, nothing satisfy you. Ain't nobody that God has created can make you happy. Well, child, I can't do those people. I'm not about to do those people. Nope, too much. Um, Miss Candy says, yes, he is stable with dad. CPS is going to evaluate both homes will be the next step. Well, child, I sure hope they hurry up and intervene. That girl home and her monitor her on that diagonal show and how she pops off and all of that too. She wants to have her way as well. That's it. That's all. Just some people that won't feel like they privileged because of the way they came up in life. Child, all of us has had some struggles, y'all. Everybody has had some struggles in their life. Um, my thought says ironing board rump probably had that baby to trap that man, but he was smarter than on Marho. Mm. Miss Maria says we're destitute, even living. Child like Martell, Miss Maria, we don't know. Honey, we ain't got no clue. They thought like 3 people on the show ain't got no stability going on. Ken they done kicked this, what out. They got D Nasty and Martell, child. Where they at, child? But it's not being said and put out on the YouTube streets. But Mel has to know where he's at because the kids was gone. They was gone last week. When she came back Sunday, she went live. And it was just her and Miss Van, and she said they was coming back. Was it Monday? Might have been Monday. They was coming back, and Miss Van was gonna go to the market and pick up some stuff to cook for the babies. She needs a psych evaluation too. Well, Miss Candace, she calling out for LB to get a psych eval, and she said he's the crazy one. She's kind of like want to be in Mel's shadow. Everything that Mel says about Martell, she trying to flip that back off on him and all that stuff. It's just too much. Just crazy. What about your life? What about your story? Do you is there any authenticity? What? Come on, tell us something, please. Miss Maria says, "In my thoughts, I know, right? That little boy was an entire heathen on them lives with her. When he with LB, he's all calm and happy, eating his ribs, honey, tearing them ribs up, just in case the people didn't know." Candace says she is obsessed with LB. And the same way she told Martell, you ain't over it, you ain't over it either. Neither one of these people can get over what has happened, but they brought it on themselves. That's the really crazy part about it. They did all this stuff to themselves. Miss Candy says he is adorable. He is a adorable little boy. He really is. And LB just he takes some places and does things with them and all of that stuff. But I don't know what's going on. But I'm sure LB has had time to talk to him. Hey, little man, what's going on with you? Why you come over here and tell daddy why you was cutting up at the school? And you have to go to school to learn. You're not supposed to be putting your hands on no other kids at school. Y'all supposed to be learning, coloring, learning your numbers, and playing. So hopefully he's had time to have that little talk with the little boy, and I hope and pray that he can take heed and listen to his daddy. My thought says they are both big dummies, and my Fred Sanford voice. Come on through, Fred. Miss Candace says she is angry because he won't fund her life, and she is determined to make his life a living hell. Child. It'll get her before it get me. Mm-hmm. Miss Maria says it seems to me destitute regurgitating the same mess she tried before that got thrown out. Yep. Yeah, they called that out. His people called that out. Miss Maria said what she was trying to do, and it's already been thrown out. But she gonna mess around them folk. What is it? Destiny's Law. Them people gonna come at her. Let her keep right on. Let her keep on playing, thinking that she got away. See, that's the thing of it is when people get to doing all that foolery and crazy stuff. Oh, I got away. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Let me try this again. Oh, I got away. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Let me try this right here. And that's gonna be the last time right there. My thought says that Candace, she can take her behind to work that part. Candace is right at my thoughts. Miss Hiller says she's trying to get income off that little boy. Wouldn't be surprised if she wasn't, Miss Healing. Would not be surprised at all. Mm-mm. They feel like somebody owed them something. hmm It's sad, but that's what the people believe. They do anyway. Maria says in my thoughts, who's gonna hire her? Nobody. My thought says that Maria sent your ass a pimp named not Slink. Martell gonna make sure they be out there on the corner, child. They be out there on that corner, child. I can't know, child. Did y'all hear Dustin when he said that it could be true that Maurice said he hit a dog, he hit an animal, a tree, and a pole. When he said a pole, he said it could have been over there the scripper pole, child. Well, it's so. He ain't lie about that, child. It could have been a scripper pole. Child ain't about to put it past him, honey. Miss Hillen Maria says that hey, at Hillen, hey, good looking, what you got cooking, child? Yes. She's Miss Hillen says, hi, beautiful Maria, beautiful child. It's just a mess, child. These people up there, all these people just self-sabotaging themselves. They're just going and going and going and going and going and going till they just can't go no more, child. And that's what it's gonna take. These folks, all of these people, especially them that's on that daggone show, every last one of these people got to go all the way down to rock bottom, rock bottom. Like whenever Marceau told Martell he wanted to see him go to hit rock bottom. And he tried to clean it up a little taste, saying, when you hit rock bottom, you ain't got nowhere else to go but to go up. So, that's what's gonna have to happen for all of these people. Y'all go ahead and crack your head to rock bottom. Just go ahead and it is what it is. Maybe it'll teach you a lesson. Learn something, child. Learn something, please, people. Child, it's a whole hot mess. My thought says Charlie Brown don't even believe the words that came out of his own mouth. Poultry and animal my ass. All of that. Maria says that my thoughts, who's gonna pay for her ran through flat ass? What? Girl, the JJ ain't popping, honey. When the JJ ain't popping, baby, you is sure enough played out you. Go on over there and take several seats, baby, and sit down somewhere. Child, ain't nobody want that mess, but I'm gonna tell hold allegedly. A legend. Child, I'm just saying. But anyway, Child, I just came out here to make sure the people can send up their prayer for your girl tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I greatly appreciate y'all so much. Prayers for Leandria. I hope and pray that she can snap out of whatever she's got going on in her good life. And she do have a good life. Sometimes it might seem dark and all of that, but she really do got a good life. And she's got to stir the pot. And even though she's thinking it's all bad, baby, there is some good in it somewhere. You just gotta find it. You gotta reach down and find the good in it. Miss Candy says hotel is only holding on to those kids to keep him from moving on and moving away. If she had a good enough reason, she could partition the court to move. Yes, absolutely. Miss Maria says, thanks for dropping in on the live. Hope you enjoyed it. Help us to grow, subscribe, support, share, and join. Until next time, we wishing y'all love, peace, and hair grease. Absolutely. Thank y'all so much for popping in. Please make sure y'all pray, especially for that baby child, because he needs all the prayer he can get dealing with a heathen like D Nasty. Anywho and anyhow, I love y'all. I'm out of here. Talk to y'all and catch y'all on the next one. Bye.